Hey guys, so welcome back to the channel. So the 2024 Olympics in Paris just wrapped up, and I wanted to go over all of the Olympic records that were broken in 2024 in Paris. So what are we looking for in 2028 for next records to be broken? If you haven't subscribed to the channel, I've made a lot of Olympic content recently on the Ross Canner flag penalty, why they have 2 rounds in stadium jumping, not to mention all the rules and penalties explained in eventing. As to why in the team competition you can actually have somebody sub in on stadium jumping day when someone has a problem on cross country, when in traditional eventing you definitely can't do that. The answer to that question is in all these videos that I just mentioned, and they're linked below and everything. But in this video today, we're gonna look at what were some of the Olympic records that were broken, and if you know of any more, don't hesitate to comment them down below, because I tried to find the Olympic records, and they're really hard to find for some weird reason. So for the life of me, can't understand why they'd be so hard to find, but apparently they are. So these are Olympic records that I happen to know were broken because they were either mentioned at the time or they were just things that I knew about from before. Okay, so first was Michael Young. So he ended on the lowest finishing score ever, individual score of a 21.8. That was actually determined in an article that I can link down below. And he previously, in the article, it said he dethroned David O'Connor from his Olympic performance in 2000. However, but I do know that Julia Krajewski from Germany, she actually won in Tokyo 2021 on a final score of 22.3, and I know she was the first female rider to ever win gold, so she broke a lot of records, but I would curious what David O'Connor's score was, because they said it had to be converted from the old format to the new format, so I'm kind of curious. It didn't say what his score was previously, but I'm curious if she actually held the record for the lowest score before that. But there is a new low score from Michael Young at 21.8. And he also became the only rider to ever win 3 individual titles. Not even kind of a surprise coming from Mickey Young. He broke a multitude of records. There was one record he did not break, and that was Laura Calais now holds the record for the lowest dressage score. Now, Mickey Young did get a great dressage score at 17.8, but Laura Calais now holds the record for lowest official dressage score at 17.5, which was previously held by Mickey Young from Tokyo at a 19.9, I believe. Hang on, let me double check that. Yeah, so the previously lowest dressage score record was a 19.9 in the 2021 Olympics by Michael Young. So we now have a new lowest dressage score ever by Laura Calais from Great Britain at 17.5. That was the individual accolades that were earned, but there were also some team mentions. So the British takes gold, and that makes them the most gold decorated team of all time at 5. USA and Australia have 4 each. Japan, who totally snuck in for the bronze, because I made a video from FEI predictions and Japan wasn't on their radar, but they came in and got the bronze, which was their first medal in 92 years, which I think is actually an amazing feat, you know, and also just a testament to not only how much the sport of eventing has expanded, but how much more competitive it's gotten while it's expanding as well. And then also Great Britain and the USA are now tied for the top number of medals at 12 each. Now, I am an American, but I'm also going to say that record that I found surprised me because I would say that the USA, while we have a ton of potential, I think that we have some room to grow on, you know, how competitive we are in the team aspect. I think we have very solid individual competitors, but team competition is ultimately different from individual competition, and the way you approach a team competition is different. There's a different strategy to it. I think that the secret to success for the USA in team competition is not in the talent, it's in the strategy. So just something to think about if you're a USA competitor and you're looking at this video. I've been in team sports and I've been in individual sports, and they are different. So the way you approach a team sport is very different from how you approach an individual sport, and it's extremely challenging to get individual players to work on a team. And ultimately, nobody wants to hear this, but it probably has very little to do with riding and riding ability. Apparently, we are now tied for top number of medals at 12 each, and that's of any color. Great Britain has the most gold medals at 5. So those were all of the records broken in Paris 2024, but there are also a few other records that are possible that could be broken in the future. So those records were all the records broken in the Paris 2024 Olympics, but there are some other records that could be broken in the future. For instance, the lowest team score in eventing now is held from the Tokyo 2021 Olympics at 82.5 penalties by Team Great Britain. Previously held by the German team. And eventing, actually, when it comes to putting together a team, there's a lot of strategy to it, and I think that when you're putting together a team, valuing an amazing dressage score can only be put as the highest priority if that pair has been shown to make time on cross country, because I think that time on cross country had the much bigger impact to the end results than rails and stadium, or even not getting a sub 30 dressage score on day one. So these are all just fun records that were broken in the Paris 2024 Olympics, and excited to see what LA 2028 brings, and which of these players is going to be back for another round of eventing. But anyway, I'll see you on the next one, and check out the playlist here, which has all of my eventing, Olympic eventing videos, where I break down not only the Ross Cantor flag penalty controversy, not to mention all team penalties and rules explained, and all of the above. So there's a full playlist here if you want to check that out. And see you on the next one.
Deixa sua bunda ardendo. Deixa sua bunda ardendo. Toma sua safada, fica sua safada, vai.